Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Nwachukwu, and I'm an entrepreneur, an investor, and a marketer. This is my podcast, Real People, Real Business. We often hear about major brands and big brands in the UAE and how they bring the boom and the resources to the UAE. But no one ever talks about small businesses and entrepreneurs and startups, even though 94% of companies in the UAE are startups or small businesses, and they bring 86% of the total workforce in the UAE. And not to mention, over 40% of GDP in Dubai, at least, comes from SMEs. So that's why I created this podcast, to hear the stories, the journeys of entrepreneurs, of business people, the challenges they've gone through, the issues they faced starting up their business, and the successes they've enjoyed. I wanted them to share the stories with us, to inspire us, and to bring insights into how to become an entrepreneur. So my first guest, the podcast, is a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine.
Right.
He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's a Lux Gold trader. He is the CEO of Wall Street Investment, which helps businesses set up and start up in the UAE. Patrick Mensah.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Izu, for having me on your show.
Now, it's a pleasure. I have to say two things. One, the shirt.
Thank you,
I love it, man. I love it. I love the bling. And the other thing, this is the maiden voyage. You're
Right.
guest number one on the podcast.
Wow.
And it's a pleasure to have you, my friend.
Thank you for having me here. Hello to all your viewers. I think this podcast episode is very needed to every entrepreneur who is listening or watching us from all over the world. Entrepreneurship is a continuous act of learning.
Yeah.
And so we need to hear new information. We need to hear about how people overcame their challenges in order to be better in what we're doing. So thank you.
Fantastic. And that's why you're here.
Thanks.
Because I want people to hear your story.
Right.
I know that you started out as an employee in a university. I know you have businesses in the UAE and in Ghana, but you started out in Ghana as an employee. What drove you to become an entrepreneur as a business person?
Yeah, this is a deep question. What drove me to become an entrepreneur? First of all, who is an entrepreneur, or what is entrepreneurship? When they say you are an entrepreneur, who are you? How are you going to explain to a lay person who doesn't understand or who is not into entrepreneurship? So for me, I consider entrepreneurship to be an audacious art, of orchestrating resources, orchestrating ideas, orchestrating talent into solving a problem or achieving personal passion. Okay. This is what I consider to be an entrepreneur, or what an entrepreneurship is. Now, how did I get into entrepreneurship? It's a long story, but I'll cut it and make it short.
We have some time
for the audience. I mean, growing up, I never had the idea of becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I grew up from a fishing community.
Okay.
You can hardly hear people inspiring you to become an entrepreneur or a businessman or a millionaire or a billionaire or to own a yacht boat, like what we see here in Dubai. Now, Patrick becoming an entrepreneur was, first of all, information, which became a dream, became a vision, and became a reality. I met this mentor called Louis Corey.
Okay.
Anytime I go closer to him, I hear him talk about $200 billion. Then I will just get scared. $200 billion? But then I was taking salary of $100.
Okay. That was as an employee?
Yes, employee at the university.
Right.
So I'm like, one day I had the courage to approach him to ask him questions. So my first question was, hey, Corey, can I ask you a question? He says, go ahead. This amount I hear you mentioning, $200 billion, do they actually exist? He just laughed and said, my boy, listen, this money exists. But before you can have access to this kind of money, you can't do that being an employee. Yeah. You have to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a businessman, and you have to create multiple streams of income. Immediately, my mind changed. Then I resigned from my job. The same day, immediately, I never went back to my office again because I've heard something, an information that has gingered me, that has transformed my mindset. Now, from this information, I had a dream. What was the dream? The dream was to start my own business so I can create multiple streams of income, becoming an entrepreneur, and probably one day becoming a millionaire to take children out of the street. Mind you, if you don't dream, or before you can accomplish anything, you first have to see it in your mind's eye before it can come to reality. Seeing it in your mind's eye is the dream. Becoming reality is the achievement of the vision. This is how it started. This is how I got into entrepreneurship. So I had to use this information to leave my comfort zone of taking salary to starting something on my own when I had no data, no information of how to do it. But I use intuition. So after the dream, after you dreaming, if you don't have data as an entrepreneur, you use intuition to take a step.
Great. So you mentioned quite a lot of strong points here. You mentioned the dream, the vision, the intuition, the information. And you know what? You also mentioned the information that you got from a mentor.
Right.
All of us have dreams. We all dream big. We all see the millions at the end of it. We all see running our own businesses and owning it. So everybody can do that. That's free. Information, you can go on the internet, you can research. But what triggered you into this was this mentor that you had. That's one thing I think is lacking with people who are starting out businesses. Is the mentorship.
Correct.
How was this mentorship for you? How did it really help you? Was it that important and critical? Should people be looking at having a mentor when they want to go into business?
You see, information is key to transformation of mind. The human subconscious is so powerful that whatever you hear can affect you positively or negatively. Now, practically, when you tell a woman, I love you, they become so excited. They go to bed dreaming, oh, he said he loves me.
I don't know. It doesn't work for me.
No,
I'm just joking.
I'm talking about women, okay? Yeah. That's the power of the subconscious absorbing information. Now, this information, it's up to you to use it positively or to use it negatively. So for me, the information I had is what took me out of being a salaried worker to deciding to start something on my own.
So having someone that can give you the right information
is key,
and guidance is key.
Is the key, correct?
It helps you,
correct,
at least mentally, to put you in the right frame of mind to
make a decision.
To make a decision.
Right.
Okay, that's fantastic. So you started out in Ghana, right? With your businesses, and then you moved to the UAE and you started. Why the move? Why, what drove you here to come in and set up Wall Street Investment and your other businesses?
Izu, I'm from Ghana. You see, the environment in Ghana, or the economy, can be quite relaxing, in terms of whatever we do. If there's any challenge, you pick up a phone, you call somebody and things will get fixed. I started trading gold whilst coming to Dubai as a tourist. The first day of the first time I got to Dubai, I saw what has been done here in less than 50 years, and I'm like, wow. An economy that has been transformed from nothing to everything. Making it the preferred location for tourism, the preferred location for business in every single industry that we can talk about, from banking, logistics, e-commerce, automobile, beauty, tourism,
tech, space. They're sending people into space.
Being named the capital city of digitalization, the city of gold, the city of dreams. Man, you can't afford to miss being part of such a vision. So when I got here, immediately, I always take quick decisions. I don't wait for people to, speak into my mind. If I see it and it's worth it, I go for it. Immediately I got here, I said, no way, I want to be part of this vision, which was brought up by Sheikh Mohammed Maktoum. He had a dream. He brought a vision of making Dubai either number 1 or it's having the biggest, or it's having the first, or it's having the largest, or it's having the fastest of everything that we can speak about to develop the economy.
Yeah.
So when I got here, I said, hey, how can Patrick align itself to this economy built on vision? A desert, now a preferred location for everything.
Yeah.
How can I develop myself with vision and align myself with the vision of Dubai to be number one, to be the first, to be the fastest, to be the biggest in everything that I do, either personally or in my business. So this is what made me decide to live in Dubai.
Yeah.
I didn't think twice. When I came, I said, I have come to stay. I'm not going back.
Habibi, come to Dubai.
Habibi, man, it's a decision.
Yeah.
It's a decision, and also aligning yourself to a vision. You can only decide immediately when you see the vision of where Dubai is getting itself to, or where Dubai is going.
Yeah.
And I can say I have been so much transformed by the vision of this country, the policies of this country, the systems of this country, and how things are done here.
So can I ask you on that point, what is the biggest transformation you've seen for yourself? Because you said you've been transformed. How has that transformation come?
All right. So I can tell you, being an entrepreneur, I was non-compliant.
You sorry?
I was a non-compliant person.
Okay.
Even when I'm driving in Ghana,
Yeah.
I will just cross the traffic light and go. I do things anyhow.
Yeah.
I say Dubai has transformed me because now I have to align myself and respect policies.
Yeah.
I have to respect the laws.
Yeah.
I have to respect the system. The system is there. You can't bypass system. Any country without a system cannot develop,
Right.
cannot grow,
That's true.
because everybody will do things the way they want or the way that suits them.
Yeah.
You don't try that in Dubai. Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the guardrails are there for all of us to
Correct.
follow, and
Correct.
that's the amazing thing about Dubai is the opportunities there for everybody.
There, yeah.
It's not no one's being held back, it's for the benefit of everyone.
But you have to respect the law.
Yeah, absolutely.
The law is very strict. It's there for you to follow. You can't do what you want and believe or think you can succeed in Dubai.
No, totally understand. So you've come to Dubai, you started your businesses. Why Wall Street investment? Tell us a little bit about Wall Street investment.
Yes.
I know you basically help people start up. I know your background is in gold trading. But why did you set up this? And I also know that you've launched a perfume company as well. So
I think that the perfume company was launched back in Ghana 5 years ago.
Right.
And why the perfume company first? I mean, perfume has always been a source of communication opening for me.
Yeah.
Growing up, I lacked communication skills because of my background. So I always use perfume as a medium to engage people. Yeah. Because once it smells good in the elevator, you get people saying, "Hey, you smelling good? Which perfume is this?"
Yeah.
Then the communication stream is open.
You use that as an icebreaker.
That is it.
I have a similar background as well, which a lot of people like what I do for a living.
Right.
I talk a lot. I communicate with people a lot. I sell a lot. But nobody will believe I'm an introvert. I hate being in big spaces. Like I can do one-to-many conversations. I can present to the end of the world. But one-to-one and networking,
it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah, you are a very quiet person. Yeah. I was just like that.
So I tend to have, like you, I have to find an icebreaker. I have to find a way to break the ice.
Correct.
And sometimes I try and go the personal route with the person. Are you here with family, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Something that warms them up, and then you can go into conversation. So you use your perfumes.
I use the perfumes as a means of breaking the ice.
That's interesting.
So once you ask me, "Hey, you smelling good? Which perfume is this?" Okay, this is my own mixture.
Okay.
I mix perfumes. I mix all my perfumes. It's difficult to identify what I'm using.
Yeah.
So this is my own mixture. Then once from there, I say, "Okay, so I'm Patrick. What do you do here?" "Oh, this is what I do." "Okay, can we catch up for coffee?"
Fantastic.
Then we become buddies and probably leads us into doing business together. There are a lot of people in my apartment that I met them in elevator. I will never say a word. I will just keep quiet. And let the perfume do the talking. Then the perfume will just open the communication stream for me. So yes, this is how come I got into the perfumery industry. I love it, and I spend a lot of money on perfumes. So my wife one time said, if you're able to spend $15,000 buying perfumes anytime you go to Europe, then I want to start this business. You are going to be my first customer.
That's a smart woman.
She
keeps the money in the family.
That's a smart woman. And that's how she also left banking and getting into the perfumery.
Fantastic.
So we own the GH Perfume Mall in Ghana. American House is still gone.
Fantastic.
So this is how I got into the perfume.
And I know you're looking to set, you already have a producer here for perfumes, and you're looking to get it into some of the malls as well.
Right. So I'm trying to get Perfume 360 into some of the major malls here in UAE, because we want to expand the brand, and we want to expand our product stream, not only in UAE, across the globe. So at the moment we sell in Ghana, UAE, we selling here, and UK as well. We're trying to extend to other countries as well.
Okay, fantastic. So Patrick, coming from a fishing community in Ghana, right?
I was supposed to be a fisherman.
You're supposed to be a fisherman.
But here I am.
You're not someone who is good at ice breaking or communication to some extent. You're someone who is earning a low salary. And here you are, right? Dubai, you've had successes, but I also know you've had failures.
Hey, man.
And I want to touch on this because, people who are thinking about starting their own businesses, the big thing, like you say, the first thing we see is a dream, success, right? And when failure hits, some people don't know how to address it. My first business failed, and it took me years before I could come back and say, okay, I'm going to start another business. And I learned from that failure. I think I learned I'm not going to just take it all on my own. I have to have a partner, split the cost, split the risk, split the investment, have someone to help you. I learned to be a bit more resilient from that failure. So when it comes at you, you just think, okay, how do I get around it? But I want to hear about your failures, because I know you failed a lot.
Hey, Izu.
so tell us.
Izu. I think somebody should hear this and take critical note. I mean, youthful exuberance in business, makes you think once you start your business today, the next day you're going to be a millionaire. So overconfidence sometimes is one of the major blows to we failing. I've failed in over 14 established businesses from Ghana, UAE, Europe, Asia, in different continents. And some of these failures came as a result of wrong decisions that I made, not planning, picking up the wrong labor force, bringing in family and friends. One of my businesses that failed in Ghana, that gave me one of my major problems, all right? It was through my manager, who was a friend and had no iota of experience in what we were doing, So lack of competence, team, was also a major factor to me failing. But listen, I never gave up in all these failures. One thing I want to share with our listeners is, if you're an entrepreneur, don't look at success stories. Don't look at people's end result. Don't think Elon Musk is a millionaire or a billionaire, so he couldn't or didn't go through challenges. Don't look at that. Look at the background. Look at the challenges they were able to overcome, how they overcame those challenges, and where they have gotten to. Because as an entrepreneur, you always have to be ready like a boxer in a boxing ring to challenge blows, to challenge challenges. Now, if you look at only the success story, excitement will make you fall faster. And being youth, I started my business at the age of 26 years old. I became an entrepreneur. So youthful exuberant, because somebody told me I have to become an entrepreneur so I can make billions. So I thought the next day I was going to be a billionaire. This is how come I had to fail in 14 businesses. But I never gave up, because once I give up, it means my dream of becoming somebody to help these little children on the street, bring them out of the street, will not be accomplished. So I had to keep rising, fall again, rise again, fall again. Now, out of those rise and fall, I was able to identify the mistakes, and to avoid them. And what I learned in my past businesses, my past failures, that's what is helping me scale and develop Wall Street investment now. Now, Wall Street, yes, we are registered in UAE, South Africa, UK, and the United States of America. And very soon you're going to see our offices and full team members in all these countries. We are cooking underground. Yeah. So this is it. I mean, it's not easy becoming an entrepreneur, but you have to be ready.
So I think, failure, is to some extent part of the journey, right?
Hey, you can't walk away from it.
And you and I were discussing this earlier, like, the one thing, like, it's good to be scared of failure.
Yeah.
We're human, we're natural,
Of course.
okay? But the one thing that you get when you overcome a failure is not only this self-development and confidence that, okay, I went through this, I survived and adapted. It's also, okay, now I'm back up.
You are back up,
I can continue the journey. I can keep going. I've learned from it. Because I think for me in life and in business, when my first business failed, I know that I was depressed for probably a few years, and this fear set in that the next business I don't want it to fail.
Right.
I always say I felt ashamed and I felt like like I was a failure.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned when I started running towards my fears, when I started running towards, because challenges of business will come at you, right? Whether you like it or not, they're going to come at you
all the time.
But what I've learned from overcoming these things is that you can be calm, you can be still, you can be resilient, and you have confidence in yourself. There's going to be a way around it, right? So either you're going to run through it, or you're going to run around it, or you're going to wait till it passes by. So you either stay resilient or you adapt.
Right.
That's one of the key things I've learned.
Yeah. My common quote on failure is, it's not a crime to fail, but it's a crime to refuse to come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Failing is not a crime, but it's a crime for you to remain there.
Yeah. I like that.
It's not a crime because everybody fails one point in a time. By you refusing to rise up, walk, and run towards the vision, is a crime.
No, I totally understand. You can't stay there. You have to grow in some way.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next point. So I'm a marketer, so this is a shameless plug. I have to talk about marketing.
Correct.
How does marketing help your businesses to grow? Do you just wait for them to grow organically, or do you invest in actually building your businesses up through marketing?
Izu, marketing is one of the critical keys to scaling a business. You can't scale a business without investing into marketing, which will bring you client or customer engagement, branding, publicity, leads generation, and also being an established entity in your domain. All this is through marketing. It has different compartments, it has different dimension. You have to make sure you cover all of them. You can't engage people, you can't do leads generation and forgo PR or forgo publicity, brand marketing. This is what establishes you as a brand. So I, as a person, I invest 50% of my personal income and the company's income into marketing. I have a 5-year plan of building Wall Street investment brand. On all mediums, any possible media or platform that Wall Street needs to be seen there, I am investing into it. And so, I have engaged you before into marketing. I've engaged people in America. I have engaged people in US. I have engaged people in UK. I've engaged people in UAE as well. So I've engaged 4 different marketing entities. All of them are playing different roles because without marketing, you are hidden.
So that's the thing. It's like with businesses and entrepreneurs that are starting up, like again, we say everybody sees the success. The dream and the vision of being successful is free. It doesn't cost anything.
It's free, no.
But a lot of businesses, especially startups, don't think about investing the money in marketing. So you pay for your trade license, you maybe pay for your office space, you pay for the equipment you need to. But marketing, even with large companies, large corporations, you'll be surprised. Marketing is like the least of what they think about in terms of investment. People see it as a cost rather than an investment, since they see a business that will generate, not like you mentioned, brand equity as well as lead generation or business or income or revenue. So What's your thought on that in terms of, an entrepreneur thinking, I'm going to put marketing to the side?
If there's any established entity who doesn't invest in the marketing, I don't think they exist. And I don't think they exist, and I don't think they want to scale. And again, they don't have a business plan.
Yes.
Every business plan comes with a marketing plan.
Yeah.
And every marketing plan comes with a marketing concept.
Yeah.
And every marketing concept covers PR, covers lead generation, covers branding from all social media platforms, covers word of mouth, covers referral marketing. Every marketing concept covers all that. So if any entrepreneur says it's a waste of money to invest into marketing, then they don't have a business plan.
Yeah.
If you don't have a business plan, then failure is looking at you. You are lucky we are telling you about the failures and what we did wrong, so you could correct, from what you think you are also doing wrong. But if you don't have a business plan, failure is waiting comfortably for you.
Let's touch on this point in terms of a business plan. I meet a lot of startups, small businesses, and it's surprising how many of them haven't got a business plan, even like the simplest of business plans. Like sometimes, when I'm putting a business plan together, it's as simple as, okay, we're going to do XYZ marketing.
Correct. Yeah.
And we need to generate X amount per month over this period.
Correct.
And that's how we're going to generate that. So this is what we're going to do, this investment we're going to put in, down to the penny, what it costs us. So even a simple business plan.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah.
These are some of the things we did wrong.
Yeah.
And we had to fail over and over and over again. You are lucky. You are hearing from us out of experience. It's always better. I believe in practicality than abstractism. All right. So I prefer hearing from people who have experiences than people who just read. We are speaking out of experience. People need business plan in order to follow. If not, you do things anyhow. And you can never have a marketing plan if you don't have a business plan.
Yeah, true. So you heard it. Marketing plans and business plans are important.
It's key.
It's key,
very
to
important,
tracking.
Very critical to scaling your business.
Fantastic.
Very critical.
Cool. So Patrick, we're coming towards the end of this episode, but I want you to share your wisdom. So this section, I asked 3 questions to all my guests, and these are personal questions to you, but I want to hear your views on them. So the first question is, what's the most surprising fact that you learned about yourself throughout your entrepreneurial journey?
Hey,
I'll give you the second question. I know, because I know you have a lot. I'll give you the second. So for you, second question, what is success to you subjectively? And the third question is, what advice would you give to others who are in a similar position to you or thinking about starting their business or have just started? What advice would you give them to set up their business? Okay,
so the first one is
what's the most surprising fact you've learned about yourself?
Patrick overcoming 14 failures in business and still surviving in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to give up on your 5th fall. But here I am, I'm still grinding in entrepreneurship because I have a dream.
Yeah.
I can't afford to fail in that dream.
Yeah.
I can't afford to fail in that dream. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Now, success to me, success have different dimensions, different definitions based on individual perspective.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I have written down and identified my success as being able to take 1 million children out of the streets of Africa.
Right.
Until I'm able to do this, regardless of how much I have, how much companies I have, where I have gotten to, I am not successful.
Yeah.
Just my dream to take a lot of kids out of the street of Africa.
Yeah.
When you go to Ghana, Nigeria, they are all over. They are the future.
Yeah.
And we have to give them a better place so we can have a great tomorrow. Exactly.
I mean, the knowledge and the skill needs to be put into this because the well-being needs to be there, because you don't want this cycle of just non-entity, let me call it, to continue. And it starts with the kids. So
that is it. because they are the future.
Yeah.
We can't risk abandoning them on the street. It means there will be no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a very good way to look at it.
So
we invest in our
success.
future.
That's a success to me personally.
Fantastic. I love that, man. And let me know how I can help in that vision.
Right.
Wherever I can. It's like
Great.
let's do it. And so the third one is, what advice would you give to others who are in similar position or about to start their business?
Listen, when it comes to challenges, suffering and adversities, these are things you are going to face on the journey as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right? They don't come to kill you. They come to strengthen you. They don't come to discourage you. They come to give you experience. They come to help you to plan, especially those without business plan. You're going to face adversities, you're going to face challenges, you're going to face suffering. All right, but that is where you have to sit down, be focused, and plan on the next step to take. All these things helps you in future, because as you grow in entrepreneurship, you're going to have great opportunities, and great opportunities comes with great challenges. The level that you go, or your height, determines the level of witches you are going to meet on the way. So all these adversities, challenges, and also suffering gives you experience, so that when you see bigger challenges, you remain focused on how to tackle it. So I don't want anybody to think challenges comes as your way as an entrepreneur to kill you, to discourage you, or to finish you completely. No, it is to build you. You have to become stronger on the path to growing as an entrepreneur. You can't afford to give up when you fail. No way. Rise up, walk again, run again until you get to that vision.
Fantastic.
Period.
Patrick, my friend, thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's
Izu.
been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you,
you
Izu.
shared your wisdom with us. I hope the guests at home watching this, I hope this was very meaningful for you guys. And I hope that you've picked up something here that can help you in your journey as an entrepreneur. But Patrick, thank you once again.
Thank you, Izu. Listen, I want to tell anybody listening to us, if you share the vision of what Izu is doing, I think people need to invest into this so it can reach masses. A lot of people need to hear. This is free education. You don't have to go to university to get this wisdom from experience. So if you're listening and you can afford to invest into this, please, let's come together and support this to grow massively.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.